I just thought it was ridiculous how it could have came off anywhere else on the road, and it just comes off at the one spot where it could hit me right in my face. What is up, YouTube? Welcome to the Ice to Closer channel. This is Ice, and we are going to jump right in today. After I just thank everyone, I just want to thank you guys. We are up to 64 subscribers, which is ridiculous. So we are definitely progressing. If you guys saw the last video I posted, it was about 13 seconds. One of the YouTube shorts, which is up-and-coming thing for YouTube. So I'm going to be just dabbling with that and seeing little short videos and what different things they could add to the channel. More of an entertainment thing with those videos than, hardcore motorcycle videos. So you guys will see that I'm making new rider content, some motorcycle content, and I'll start to have a little bit more of a content expansion. The more consistent and the better videos I'm able to produce. So that is what you guys have to look forward to. We have some good videos coming forward in the future, and there's been some milestones that I have passed. So more on that in future videos. For this video, I want to, as the title says, talk about the top 5 things that I did not learn in the motorcycle safety course. The first one is definitely not safety related, but is very much culture related for motorcyclists, and that is the motorcycle wave. I had heard of it before, but it's not something I ever really paid attention to until I started riding, and I would watch, or until I started getting interested in riding, and I would watch YouTube videos where people may have a pillion or a passenger. A pillion is what it is called in motorcycling, someone on the back of the bike, and they will instruct them, if they pass a motorcyclist, just put their hand down and wave. But I don't think I ever caught the put your hand down part. So I thought the wave was you just put your hand up in the air. And the first time I did that, it just so happened that the person I rode by just ignored me. So that was cool. But I will say, once I learned that you're technically supposed to put your hand down, at least that's what most people do. Some people, the really cool people, I guess, will give you a little point. So that made me feel like the man. I'm not gonna even lie there. And I'm still at a point where I honestly don't even fully feel like a motorcyclist, even though I have ridden now. Tomorrow will be 2 months. So that's been a blessing, but I'm still kind of learning more about the culture and just getting into it more and more. Definitely been interested, but I don't fully feel like a motorcyclist yet. So when I have that motorcycle wave, especially depending on the day, it makes me jump up and down like a little kid. I'd be laughing inside my helmet and everything like that. Because it's just such an exciting thing that if you drive a car, there's just not really a camaraderie with other car drivers on the road. Everyone's just kind of in their own world, whereas motorcyclists, even though you may have a motorcyclist in their own world or whatever, it's actually very much a community and a culture. So it's like, it's not a brotherhood because there's women who ride as well. It's a whatever you call a brotherhood and a sisterhood combined. So that's what it is. It's I guess it's in a way like a culture and a family that motorcycling can provide that is very unique, and that is something I have really appreciated. So practically, if you are a motorcycle rider and you're comfortable enough to take your left hand off, the wave is definitely underneath the handlebar, not over like you would be waving to someone, unless that's the only thing you can do. Also, if you're not able to take your hand off, like, there's no point in crashing because you're trying to do a wave. You're just gonna look dumb. What I would do in that case is I'll just do a head nod. Like if I'm accelerating or slowing down, I'll do a head nod. Maybe more advanced motorcycle riders don't have to worry about that, but head nod works for me too. So I also noticed that I could wave and someone could be, 50 yards away. Just the fact that motorcyclists are always looking around, to see someone wave at you on a motorcycle 50 yards away, different street, different way, it's just, it's just a very different experience. So I really enjoyed that. And that's something I would not have known just based on the MSF safety course. Another very practical thing, a little bit of contrast from the wave, is I did not know that when you decelerate, it's actually better practice to stay in second gear as your lowest gear until you get probably below 15 miles an hour, but I try to keep it to 10 miles an hour, in which it is okay to switch to first gear. I noticed when I did not do this, and I would, because in the motorcycle safety course, the fastest I probably went was 25 miles an hour in America. So there was not too much of an issue when, they said when you slow down, you just want to put downshift as quick as possible immediately to first. But when I would do that from 30 miles an hour, because I may have been going 70, so I'm at 30 by the time I get to first gear when I'm decelerating, I would notice between second gear and neutral, my bike would kind of clutter a little bit, and it wasn't smooth. It made a very kind of bad sounding noise for the bike. And I realized the only time that I didn't feel like I was getting caught in gears between second and first, somewhere stuck in that neutral kind of stage, where I felt like I was about to break something, was actually when I just came all the way down to about 10 or below. Now, a little off topic, if you are watching my ride here, you'll realize that I'm actually about to get hit with a sheet of ice off of a car. I'll show it here in slow motion. If you look at the top of that car that's just entering the screen, you'll see that big sheet of ice, like this car right here. That just came off literally right in front of me. It could have came off however many miles ago that car was driving, but you'll see the ice come off here. And if you look in my left mirror, you'll see the ice come off. It just hit me in the head. And I just thought that was crazy. Y'all probably can even hear my live reaction. I just thought it was ridiculous how it could have came off anywhere else on the road, and it just comes off at the one spot where it could hit me right in my face. But, by God's grace, I was perfectly fine and I was safe and stuff, and there was no issue. So, as I was saying before that incident, when you decelerate down to first gear, it is just very helpful. From, at least on my bike, I'm not sure if it's different for different motorcycles, but at least on my 2019 SV 650, I noticed that if you wait until you get around 10 miles an hour or maybe 15 miles an hour, typically where you would shift up from first gear, if you wait till there to shift down from first gear, it's just a lot smoother, and I felt like I was being a lot more kind to my bike. Coming in at number 3, another thing that I did not get experience with and learn in the MSF safety course was actually getting experience with the signal light, turn signals, and also being able to check mirrors. Because in the MSF safety course, at least for mine, we use old bikes. I used, I believe, like 2003 or 1999 Honda Nighthawk. And those bikes are dropped all the time in the safety course. All of the mirrors and signal lights were already knocked off of the bike. And on my bike, if you did hit the signal, you couldn't even see an indicator on your display. So they did try to have us do signals, but if you have a signal and you can't see it, then you have no idea that you left it on. So if you look at my earlier videos, you'll realize that sometimes I struggled turning the signal on, and most times I would forget to turn it off because it just wasn't something that I was used to and that I had practiced until I got this bike right here. So with the mirrors, again, same thing. The mirrors are knocked off. I don't think maybe one bike in our safety course, we had 6 people in it, had mirrors on it. So I didn't get to, have an experience with that. And then I definitely wouldn't have been able to go as far and as fast and interact with cars in the safety course either. So learning how to adjust my mirrors, because it is very different than a car mirror. It's smaller, more compact, it doesn't cover as much, and you don't have a rear view mirror. So you kind of have these 2 mirrors that I at least try to have act like a rear view mirror and help me see about 2 lanes over, and that can be difficult. So there's a lot of body movement that is required for me to actually truly be able to use my mirrors. That was something that I learned as I was riding myself, and it definitely took a while to get used to. For the first week, I felt like I was adjusting my mirror all the time, and eventually I found like that sweet spot for me. And there's just something to think about, that when you come out of the safety course, before you go on to the actual road, you should practice doing turn signals safely and checking your mirrors and have your mirrors adjusted. The fourth thing I did not learn in the MSF Safety course, primarily given the nature of the course, is how to shift at speed. I did not know that shifting can be definitely different, and for me a lot more difficult at speed when it came to timing, when to shift, when to roll the throttle up, how quick I could roll the throttle up. When I was doing slow speed shifting, I would just roll up on the throttle nice and slow, have the clutch pulled in, slowly click up in gears. But when you're going a lot faster, when you roll on that throttle, you can hear it like and if you take too long to like have the clutch pulled in and click up, it definitely doesn't go as smooth. If you're going fast or you're high in revolutions, the bike can jerk a little bit, especially on my SV650. One of the knocks on the SV650 is its suspension. So if you're not smooth and quick with the shifts and you're at speed, the bike will definitely kind of jump a bit, and that's not helpful. So that is something I definitely learned the more I practiced and the more I got up in speed. And that also goes with my fifth point, which is, again, since there are no cars in the safety course, there's a level of adrenaline you will not experience until you have a car behind you or next to you. And so there will be times where I may try to get off the line quick when the light turns from red to green, and because of all of the adrenaline I have, I'll either roll down on the throttle, I'll give the bike too much gas, or I could stall because I let out the clutch too quick without having enough throttle. Or when I give it throttle, I may have it go too high in the rev range because I wasn't quick enough in going up in gears, because I just wasn't used to shifting gears that quick. And again, when you're going really fast, shifting gears can actually be a little bit more difficult, especially if you're listening to the bike and you want it to sound smooth. So those were the 5 things that I did not learn in the MSF course that I believe are extremely important for you to learn. Other than the motorcycle hand gesture, that's not necessarily important for your safety, but in terms of just being a part of the culture, I would consider it important. So I hope you guys like this video. I want to thank you again for your support. Whether you are riding a motorcycle or not, whatever your goal is in life, just make sure you keep working towards it and don't make excuses for yourself. It's never too late to start, but there's always a time that you can make an excuse. So I encourage y'all to overcome those excuses with me. And again, we're on this journey together. We're going to keep pushing. So if you haven't subscribed, join the movement. If you like the video, please like the video. And other than that, God bless, and I will see y'all next video. Peace.